So my name is Michael Smith. I'm a United States Army retired veteran. I was injured in combat overseas. I was medically discharged with a retirement and spent a little bit over a year in the hospital after being released. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder as well as numerous back injuries. I underwent several surgeries to help fix these complications. And once I left, I went back home to my home of record and continued with these issues.
Was it a difficult decision to try to return to work?
It was at first. And in fact, actually, I had attempted to go back to work once and failed. I ended up being put into a wheelchair for a couple of months. And then I knew at my age, there's no way I'm just gonna stay on Social Security. I need to get out into the work atmosphere. And so I attempted again and was finally successful on the second time.
How did your inability to work affect your home life and finances?
That was probably the most strenuous part. Being married, being a young man, having children, and sitting at home, not being able to provide for my family in an adequate way was not only stressful for me, but you could see the stress rubbing off of me onto my wife and my kids.
How did you learn about AES and the Ticket to Work program?
So upon my release from the Army, we had to undergo several different classes that were mandatory. And one of them was applying for Social Security and then utilizing their benefits. I actually had to contact a lawyer for Social Security, which is usually a long wait for anyone that applies. It was my lawyer who reached out and said that there are other benefits. He just explained, I know that you have goals to want to get back to work. Definitely take your time. You're in no hurry, but there are things out there that could help you push in that direction.
How did your AES case manager help you?
The lady that did contact me was adamant. I mean, once a month she was contacting me. She was there, making sure that I had the required documents that were needed for Social Security.
How has returning to work had an impact on your life?
The first attempt was extremely difficult. I was enduring pain and gradually trying to force myself into this work environment and not necessarily choosing the right work environment for me, which ended up aggravating my injury even further, hence why I was put in the wheelchair. But my rebound was rather quickly, I would say within less than a year, and finding a job that would fit my disabilities was important, and then making sure that because of the job that I chose, which was creating my own business and subcontracting with another business, my life was starting to become a little more difficult with how do I send Social Security the correct information? What do they need with me as an owner of an LLC? And AES was great about helping with that.
What advice do you have for people with disabilities re-entering the workforce?
To have a plan before they decide to move forward. And whether that plan includes college, because you can attend college while you're on Social Security, to make sure that the field that they're choosing will fit their disabilities. Especially if someone that has PTSD, maybe some other veterans, they need to understand the work environment. And when they're doing their interviews, try to take a day or two, say, hey, look, this sounds great for me, but is it possible that maybe I shadow someone for a day and see if this is a right fit for me? Because I was actually put in a situation back when the PTSD was really bad, that heightened, triggers that would set off my PTSD in a job atmosphere. So most definitely take your time and look to shadow a job with something that you're interested, because it may just not be the job, it could be the individuals working there as well. You want to make sure it's a right fit for you, so that way getting back fully into the work atmosphere is comfortable, and you're able to adjust with your disabilities at a slow rate.
What advice do you have for employers who are considering hiring candidates with disabilities?
I would say almost the same. A lot of employers are now privy to people with PTSD or other disabilities. And in fact, most of them have to be with the Americans with Disability Act. But it's not going to hurt an employer to say, hey, look, especially a veteran, I understand that you have these disabilities. Why not shadow someone around, see if this is beneficial for you? That way, as a business owner, I'm not wasting time nor money, and we can collaborate on if this is a good fit for you.
What advice do you have for people who might be unsure about working with AES? And is there anything you want to add?
I would tell them not to be skeptical at all. The job that AES does is important to anybody that has Social Security and looking to get back out into the work atmosphere. You need that support and want that support. Throw the stress out the window and let someone else take care of it. Just thank you guys for the great service that you've done for me. I greatly appreciate it. You helped me through some of the toughest times in my life, and you guys are a great company, and I hope and look forward to you guys growing even larger than you already have.